I'm one of the co-organizers of this year's first annual Bolton Pride Parade and Rally. My co-organizers, Emily Winner and Lauren Schneer-Mahoney, are really excited about the turnout. And the idea for this Pride Parade came from wanting the LGBTQIA community to be celebrated, and we wanted to give them a place to amplify their voices.
Tell me why you're here today.
So I'm here today because I think it's a really important message to spread, especially during Pride Month, and it's amazing that Pride has been brought more publicly to Bolton, and it's amazing that there's so many people here, as you can see, and like, it's just the fact that I'm able to be who I am, pansexual. It's great that I'm able to be here and I'm able to see so many friends and just everyone's supportive. Just know that you are valid no matter what. Just want you to be accepted.
Thank you.
So I'm Diana Durr and this is Kristen Hera, and we are the two advisors for the Neshoba Regional High School Gender and Sexuality Alliance. We're here today because this is the first time Bolton has offered a Pride Parade, and this is outstanding. And we want to support our LGBTQA plus community and couldn't think of a better way to do it.
Pride Month is a celebration of strength and diversity of our community. Pride is about honoring the path we walk to secure and protect our rights and the opportunity to show gratitude to those whose shoulders on whom we stand. Could I possibly ask for a moment of silence to honor those lost 5 years ago in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub? If I could ask for a moment of silence, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. We know our nation suffered the deadliest attack affecting the LGBTQ community in American history, and the deadliest mass shooting by a single gunman. Within minutes, the Pulse nightclub, that had long been a place of acceptance and joy, turned into a place of unspeakable pain and loss. And we hold those people close to our hearts today and forever. But what I want you to know, and what is so amazing, is what has been done at the state level by your legislators, your representatives, those people you bother showing up to vote for. We're proud to have shared our commitment to civil rights and to define our state as leaders on LGBTQ issues. In 1989, we became the first state in the country to prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation. In 2004, and a year or two before I entered the legislature, we became the first state in the country to grant marriage licenses to same-sex couples. In 2011, we passed historic gender identity anti-discrimination legislation. In 2016, we passed a law prohibiting discrimination in a place of public accommodation, otherwise known as the Trans Bill. In 2018, we led the nation in supporting transgender protections by popular vote. This state voted to protect transgender rights, so important. We are not only leaders in the legislature, but you out there voting are also our leaders. By advancing civil rights is not just about checking a box and calling it history. The story of LGBTQ rights is one of profound progress to counter tremendous hate. We can, we will, and we must move towards justice, equity, and inclusion as a commonwealth and as a country. Pride is not only about coming together in celebration, but also about coming together with a renewed commitment to tolerance, equality, and inclusion for all. Love is love. Love is love. Love always wins. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so proud to walk with you. Thank you.
Good my name is Veronica. I'm a rising senior and I've been in GSA since 8th grade. Our primary goal as a GSA is to provide a safe space for all of our LGBTQ+ students and to ensure that our schools themselves are a safe space for all. You might hear GSA and think of Gay Straight Alliance, and that's what it's been for years. That's what it was when I was in 8th grade. But when I got up to Neshoba, it had a new name. It was the Gender and Sexuality Alliance. And this is because gender identity is another equally important aspect of one's identity that has been neglected. The Trevor Project has done research that shows that youth are less likely to be out regarding their gender identity than their sexual orientation. And in that same survey, they found that less than half of the respondents were out to an adult at school. We as the GSA want to make sure that every student is comfortable discussing their sexual orientation, but just as importantly, is comfortable sharing their pronouns and gender identity with teachers and classmates without fear of violence or discrimination. As a student who has been out as LGBTQ+ for my entire high school experience, I have a lot of people turn to me when they have questions. When they want to know something, they expect me to be a spokesperson for the entire community. And to be clear, I always answer these questions with enthusiasm, because I want people to be educated on these topics. And if the only way they're going to learn is by asking me, then I'll answer, and I'll encourage them to ask me any questions they have. But it can definitely be tiring at times. And if it wasn't also stigmatized and everyone could discuss more openly, and we taught our youth about different ways to identify and the validity of everyone, then maybe 14-year-old me wouldn't have had to teach my history class about a prominent event in LGBTQ+ history because my teacher didn't know enough. And the event I'm referencing is the Lavender Scare, so if any of you guys don't know what that is, exactly my point. So I had to teach myself virtually everything. I had to research and sign up for conferences. I don't want that to be every LGBTQ+ student's future. They shouldn't have to fight to learn about these basic things, and their non-LGBTQ+ peers should have this knowledge as well. Before I finish, I want to speak directly to the middle school and elementary school students, and even the high school students who aren't in the GSA. The GSA is always there for you, and that might seem kind of like an empty promise, but it's really not. We're a close-knit group that's always happy to help talk you through anything, or just listen. And anything said in GSA stays in GSA. Your personal information will never leave the room. So I want to offer that to current high school students, incoming high school students, middle school students, elementary school students, really anyone. We're there for you. And we know how hard finding yourself can be. Trust me, I'm almost 17 and I still have no idea who I am. I was lucky to grow up in an incredibly supportive environment with a supportive family, and I want everyone to have a space like that. And I know that not everyone gets to have that space with their family, so we hope to create at least some semblance of that space with GSA. So if you have any questions for me, our members, or our advisors, please come see us at the Neshoba GSA table right over there, and we'll be happy to talk to you about anything. Thank you.
Happy Pride, everyone. Bolton Pride, everyone. This is exciting. My name is Zach Burns. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm a select board member in Stowe. I live in Stowe with my husband, and we could not be happier to be part of this amazing community. And Veronica, that was amazing. I can't wait for your generation to lead us into the future. I remember being in high school, not too long ago, unsure of what the future would hold. Would I find acceptance? Would I find love? Would I find a community who celebrates like Bolton? I'm lucky to say yes to all of these, but we have so much more work to do. And look at all of you. Look at this crowd. This is amazing for our first ever Pride out here in Bolton. So let's give a big round of applause in particular to those organizers of this first Bolton Pride event. When I look out here today, I feel love and community, and I see acceptance and support. This is how everyone should feel all the time. And I'd like to take a walk with you during my time about making this a priority all the time in our communities. In one of my first acts as a Stowe Select Board member, I requested an agenda item for the town of Stowe to authorize a Pride proclamation. Unfortunately, and largely due to the fact that Stowe doesn't even have a policy on proclamations, that item was not put on the agenda. At least not this year. But on the shoulders of our elders, I have hope. As Harvey Milk said, it takes no compromise to give people their rights. It takes no money to respect the individual. It takes no political deal to give people freedom. It takes no survey to remove repression. And I've experienced and been part of the progress advanced by so many across this country in our beautiful Commonwealth, such as with Representative Hogan, and within our Metro West community. So it's time, my friends. It's time we find a way to reach out to your local elected officials, your select board members. Make them take action. Make them issue a pride proclamation. Make them hang up an inclusive rainbow flag on Town Hall. Make them take ownership in actively demonstrating that our towns are welcoming, accepting, and a fabulous place for our community to live and thrive. So my ask of all of you is to reach out to your local elected officials today, next week, next month, next year, and make it your goal to have action on pride. Make it our goal to turn our communities from those of silence to those with a voice. Make it your goal to advance your town. My humble ask is to turn your allyship into action. Together we can move our towns and the Metro West forward. Thank you. Happy Pride. Happy Bolton Pride. I look forward to seeing you all next year.
Hi guys. Hello everyone, my name is Al or Alex. My pronouns are she, they, by the way, if you were wondering. And this is Baby the Goat. She's a baby Nubian. She's one of our new goats. She's so adorable and so caring. All of us are here to celebrate Pride today, and I'm very excited to. We each have our own journeys with Pride, whether it's about ourselves, a family member, a friend, or even a peer. No matter what, we've all passed someone that's in the LGBTQ plus community. We are all present in each other's lives every day. Other than wanting to tell you how thankful I am to see all of you here today and how beautiful you all are, and to see everyone really happy, it makes me happy. I would like to discuss an important topic that's always been present in my journey to find acceptance with myself. Of course, to talk about it, I gotta go all the way back to November 18th, 2011, where I was a child on YouTube all the time. Like a lot of other kids, I found a lot of love in the channel Smosh, which was not very acceptable for an 8-year-old child like me. That day, they posted a video called The Legend of Zelda Rap, which was very inappropriate, but there was a cosplayer in there that was cosplaying as Zelda that I thought was very beautiful, and I thought she was so gorgeous, and I didn't know what I was feeling back then, but I felt something. And no, Mom, I wasn't feeling anything because of the Link's whitey tighties. I just couldn't stop looking at her, and I couldn't get over the video. When I was in middle school, I first learned about all the genders and flags at Florence Sawyer's GSA. That's when I got my first learning experience about everything. I got to learn more about myself for the first time, and peers in my class, even though mainly I joined it to do it with my friends, but I'm really thankful I did that, since it was very helpful to where I am. I've been in GSA since 7th grade, and I've learned a lot. And now I'm in my high school GSA. It's been a little weird because of COVID. And my freshman year, I really didn't have much of an identity for myself. My identity passed on from middle school, where I was called fat all the time. And that was my only identity that I really had. But meeting a lot of new people, I found myself even more. And even in my freshman year, I was struggling a lot with my mental health, so that's when I went to Cultivate Care Farms, where I got to talk even more about my problems. So when I was there, There's a bunch of animals there that are there to listen to you, and a bunch of counselors. They're all very kind. They're all very cool. There's so much support there. Everyone is accepted. Oh, okay. That's okay. I got it. Sometimes goats eat rocks, kind of a problem. But being there, you're there to take care of yourself and the animals. And as you take care of the animals, you find out you find out how responsibility works and how to move on with your life. And talking with my counselor Erica, who's over there in the middle with the rainbow pants, I figured out that my first crush was that Zelda cosplayer from when I was 7 or 8 years old. And that I'm also pansexual by going to GSA at Neshoba. That's really helped with my gender identity, being in so many groups. I'm at Neshoba's GSA, I go to one-on-one sessions at Cultivate, and I also go to the Cultivate teen group every Thursday night. And another important thing, which I know a lot of people like to hear about, is money. Cultivate is very affordable. The one-on-one sessions are only $25 a pop, and it's so affordable, and there's so much support. You get so much. I cannot recommend it enough. It is amazing there. Pride is everywhere when you're there. And at Cultivate, you learn how to live your life, even if something bad happens, like an animal passing away, like my dear friend Pants last December. It's a safe place there, so you get to figure out your emotions and how to deal with them for your life. Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm B. Manning. I'm the Associate Minister at First Parish of Bolton, and I just want to say I am so proud that our church is part of this First Pride Parade, and I am so proud that Bolton is doing this. At our church, we agree with Kate, love is love, God is love, with God is always inclusive. Happy Pride.
Hi, my name's Ren, pronouns they, he, in case you were wondering. I came out to my whole school earlier this year, and I got so many questions from anyone, and everyone was just like, question. And it was amazing because everyone was so curious about everything, and everyone was so supportive, and everyone just had a lot of, everyone just had a lot of curiosities about the community, and it was amazing that so many people were interested about stuff. So yeah, gayness is great. Yeah.
I'm Abby Morgan. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm here to talk about allyship to the LGBTQIA+ community. Honestly, I didn't want to speak today. As a privileged, white, cis, straight woman, this day is not for me. But I was asked to speak, and part of being an ally is to call out and educate other straight, cisgendered people, so here I am. Also, for the queer folks who are here, if you have the bandwidth and ability to listen to someone like me talk about folks like you, please hold me accountable when I'm wrong. Call me out on my privilege when it gets in the way of my allyship, because it probably will at some point. But if you're burnt out and tired of having to do the work, and you'd rather ignore me right now and need to go get a drink of water, go sit in the shade or something, that's all good. You don't have to listen to me, it's fine. If you are not queer, not an L or a G or a B or a T or a Q or an I or an A or a plus or all the other letters, right? Then this is for you. I'm so grateful that we're all here today to support our friends, family, and community members. But what happens tomorrow? How are you going to take the joy and momentum of today into the next day and the next day after that? Because being an ally to the queer community isn't just for Pride events like right now, or just the month of June. It's for every day. Change doesn't happen unless we change ourselves first. And part of that change is recognizing we have the privilege to choose when we want to fly our rainbow flags. But our queer friends and family are queer every day. But they may not feel safe to fly their rainbow flags 24/7, 365. But that's where we come in. That's where the allies come in. There are many ways that we can be everyday allies. So here are just a few to get you started. I got 6, there's way more. But first is listen. Listen to your friends, your family, people in your community, queer folks on the national stage. Then if you think you've got it figured out, listen some more. We need to understand that we will never fully understand what it's like to be queer. Number 2, educate yourself. Read queer authors, nonfiction and fiction. Listen to queer speakers. Follow queer folks on social media. Be open to learning new things. Number 3, identify your pronouns. Make it a habit. It's really easy. Put it on your Zoom name, on your business cards, on your email signature. Introduce yourself with your pronouns during your meetings. Why? Because if you do it as an ally, as a cis person, it makes it much easier for a trans or non-binary and other queer folk to do the same without making it be a big deal. Number 4, educate others. Do you have relatives who are sympathetic but, quote, don't get the pronoun thing? I do. Take the time to teach them. Help them understand why trans athletes wanting to compete in sports isn't going to, quote, endanger young girls. This is hard, sure, but it's way easier than having to adopt your own child because the state doesn't recognize you as a parent, or living life in the wrong body that you were born in. Number 5, recognize intersectionality. Black and brown queer people experience racism within the queer community and experience sex, gender, and identity discrimination within the BIPOC community. Look around today. If you want to support queer lives here in our community, then you also need to support queer lives, queer Black lives, queer Indigenous lives, queer Asian lives, queer Latinx lives, and on and on. Number 6, take action. Donate to queer advocacy organizations. Write to politicians about legislation impacting the LGBTQIA+ community. If you haven't visited the postcard station yet at the NASHTA tent right over there, they're waving, please do that. We will mail your postcards for you. You don't even have to deal with that. We'll do it. Just as Zach said, contact the people in charge. It's important. So do that before you leave, please. Elect queer leaders, both in local government and national government. Push for policies in the police department, recognizing the unique needs of the queer community. Support LGBTQIA+ history and curriculum in schools. All of these things are actionable items. You can get help with them right over there. If this list sounds overwhelming to you, you're not wrong. But this is a small taste of the uphill battle folks in the queer community have been fighting just to be their true selves. This is why allyship must be more than love and rainbows, though love and rainbows are awesome, I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons why the Neshoba Area Social Justice Alliance exists is because I realized if I wanted to be an ally, I needed to be doing more every day, not just one day a year. If you are also feeling that way, come join us. In NASHTA, privileged people like me work with folks from marginalized groups, like the queer community, to be better allies and to use our powerful privilege to amplify the voices of the oppressed. Join us and start being an ally every day. Start doing that today. Thank you.